What's up? This is Erika. This is episode 2 of Her Digital Empire, and today we're going to be talking end of the year,
Yeah.
right? End of the year, Black Friday, Christmas, all that stuff.
Yes.
My producer, my husband, Jesse Belvin, is with me today.
I am definitely here. I'm excited to be here. I'm ready and fired up, jacked up. Got the rock stars and Red Bulls in our system.
And obviously, do not forget to subscribe to iTunes, to our podcast so that you can get our updates every time there's a new episode, okay? So, episode 2. So,
Yeah, how you feeling after the Black Friday stuff?
well, besides that it was my best month ever, I think it was absolutely phenomenal. I really took a lot of my own advice from the last podcast, and yeah, and we killed it. So I did want to talk about a little bit of the things, like some of the things maybe we did wrong and right, so that maybe it could help you in your business. So, Jesse, when it came to Black Friday, do you feel like because we started earlier, do you feel like that's why we did so well versus doing just one day of sales?
Yeah, like we said in the other podcast, I believe that had a huge impact. We tested it out this year. I mean, it was last year. I think we
Just
pretty
one
much
day.
yeah. And this year we were like, you know what? Like let's just give them 2 weeks and see what happens. And it was the best thing ever. And I even remember you a couple times being
Right.
like, I don't know, should this be the entire time? This is weird. And it was awesome.
Well, the idea behind it for me, my fear was that everybody would just get kind of sick of the sales, right? So like
Right.
after a few days of having a sale, because there's no longer that fear of loss. It gets boring, right? So like if I know I have 2 weeks of a sale, like let's say Best Buy has 2 weeks for me to go in, I'm gonna wait till the very last minute, because that's just kind of like how human nature is. We wait till the last minute. So I thought to myself, like, this might actually cripple me. So we were really monitoring it, but what we found was that it actually increased our sales heavily, and created the best month we've ever had. Gross.
Absolutely. It's kind of like, I mean, obviously we don't want to put this in like a negative term, but it's kind of like, there's a bunch of fish in a fresh lake, and you just go out there and throw your pole in and nobody else is around.
Right.
It's kind of what it is, because it's like everybody is preparing for that one day. And you can even look at the big retail companies. They might start 24 hours early, 48 hours early, but 2 weeks early, that was
Right.
risky.
And I totally agree with what we were saying in the last podcast about how you got to have a certain percentage off. People do
Right.
not care about 20 or 30% off. I mean, I was going through my emails looking for something that I'm always Christmas shopping for Black Friday. So if something was 20% off, there was even Etsy sellers that I wanted to buy from. And I was like, gosh, these guys are only 20% off. I could get this any day or any time of the year.
Sure.
I'm not buying from you right now, right? I want to save that money that I have for Black Friday for things that I can actually save on, right? So that was something that I noticed, it just didn't do as well, I think, for a lot of, Etsy sellers or maybe even companies, right? Because 20% just is nothing to be excited about,
And
right?
I saw a couple, ever since you mentioned that,
Yeah.
I actually saw a couple different companies. It was my favorite. We were looking on Groupon, and we were looking at different things like, plastic surgeries and different stuff, injections, different stuff like that. And it was like, I was literally looking at these companies, and I'm like, you guys aren't even offering discounts.
Yeah.
You're offering like $10, $20 off of like, a $400, $500, $600 syringe. I'm like,
Right.
what is that?
No, the best is when it's not like it's a sale that's always on sale, but they actually like pretend like it's a Black Friday sale. Like I went to Target because I'm after the new Switch. That's what it's called, right?
Switch, yeah.
The Nintendo Switch.
Not the new one. The Switch.
Whatever,
Yeah.
the Switch, the Nintendo video game.
Yeah.
So $2.99 is the price. I've been watching this price for forever, and I told myself I'm gonna wait till Black Friday and see if I can get like 50 $50 off or something, right? Because that's what happened for Xbox. Xbox goes on sale for Black Friday like crazy. So I go into Target and they say Black Friday doorbuster savings, Nintendo Switch on sale for $2.99, and I was like, what? Like, I was so mad. So I actually went to Best Buy too, and I saw they were sold out. So I wonder, if they had some kind of deal or if people were just like so crazy. I know that Best Buy has like a cult of people who like will just want to grab everything and maybe weren't looking, but that's like a big marketing tactic that I was just like so not impressed with. Like, there were just so many companies that just did not do a good job with their Black Friday sales.
And the big one was the TVs. I mean, I almost got sucked into that, and then all of a sudden, because I see the sale, like the word sale,
right?
And then it was like, wait a second, that's the same price it is everywhere.
Well, see, the thing is nowadays you have online,
Right.
so when you have the ability to be able to look up pricing on your phone and then make price comparisons on your phone within 5 minutes.
Sure.
It's so not smart to put something out as a sale when that's the regular price for that thing anyway, that you consider to be a sale, right? So that was something I really noticed that I think, companies really bombed with. Same with, a lot of, like I said, I'm on Etsy, so I'm going to talk about Etsy a lot. A lot of different Etsy sellers didn't do a good job of that. I even had some clients who, just really, I could tell they just were kind of feeling uncomfortable with the idea of possibly losing money on Black Friday, which I know, understand. Believe me, there were some heart attacks on my end as well, right? But that's what being an entrepreneur is all about. It's being brave enough to be willing to take risks. Black Friday is always going to be a risk. Just, you want it to be a calculated risk, and you want to figure out, what's the most I could lose and what can I afford to lose, and that's what I'm going to do on Black Friday. Because what happens is on Black Friday is you're gaining new customers who could potentially be regular customers because they bought your stuff on discount.
Right.
This happened to me with Roku, right? So Roku, my first Roku TV, I bought a couple years ago on Black Friday because it was such a good deal. And I mean, now my whole house is Roku TVs.
All of them.
We're gonna do the Roku soundbar. We're all Roku'd out. It's just like all about the Rokus. I'm very, now that's my brand of TV that I like, right? So, that's exactly what I'm talking about as well for me. Like, in a way you could say, oh, well, Erika, because you did 50% off, you lost money and blah, blah, blah. But no, I actually gained a lot of customers and new people who would have normally not bought my stuff, or maybe have not bought my stuff at all because it was just above their price points that they're willing to spend. And so they were waiting for this time, right?
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, maybe that's why I did so well. It could be different for different people. I'm not sure. But yeah, any mistakes do you think that we made?
I would say, obviously, one of our primary sources of income is our Etsy business.
Yes.
And, we learned some things about what works and what doesn't work as far as listing certain products, listing variations of that product.
Sure.
But overall,
I think the overall thing there is make it as easy for the customer to buy as possible. Not too much reading, not too much, work on their end.
And I would also say that you can't over prepare, right? Like we even felt, as much as we were pushing it, we had under prepared for certain things, but still broke every record we had, and it was amazing. And kind of leads us to
even net, I believe. Yeah.
Oh,
even net, we broke our top net records, so we really did great. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's obviously it's important to close the year out strong, which we'll talk about here in a sec. But it was very, very, very awesome, and almost perfect, almost as perfect as you could ask for. And then we actually decided to kind of keep that party going, right?
Right. So, little plug there. I still am offering 50% off of the majority of my shop for Christmas, just to kind of help you sellers as a present, and you entrepreneurs as a present for you. You can now get your Christmas flyers and all that stuff at 50% off, totally affordable, so that you can take that money and put it towards your family and get some gifts and stuff. So we actually kept that going for you, so that you can get all your marketing done, for under 10 to 15 bucks. I mean, that's just
Sure.
insane. So definitely go to my Etsy store or my website and bostondigitallab.com and go and check that out. But yeah, so moving on to that, since we're talking about Christmas, right? So we talked a lot and really broke down Black Friday. I didn't want to do as much breaking down with Christmas because it's very, it's interesting because people think, oh, well, people are going to be spending. Actually, just being in retail, because I was a waitress, I was a bartender, I've been a manager in retail. I know a lot about retail. The Christmas, for the majority of businesses, Christmas time is actually usually around like 60 to 70% of the entire revenue of the entire year for a lot of retail businesses comes during Christmas time. That's why they focus so much on it. That's why they bring on seasonal workers. Right. It's just, that's why jobs go up during that time. It's just a buying time for people because people are buying presents for their family and their friends, right? So naturally, right, if you're not a big business, and you don't have a person who is telling you what to do, right, like a consultant and stuff, and you're just figuring this out for yourself, you're kind of more focused on, well, since people are naturally going to be coming to my shop anyway, or my store or whatever, my website, I'm just going to kind of chill out because I need to focus on, the parties and my kids' Christmas, party and presents for the kids and picking up my seasonal job. I've got 2 jobs now. I can't focus on the business. When really you should be focusing the most on this time because it's supposedly, according to numbers, supposed to be the best time of the year for you. By the way, really quick to go back to Black Friday, I had heard this on the radio that this Black Friday was the best Black Friday that has ever happened, by the way.
Right. So like when we said you're going to miss out on a party if you're not participating,
right.
like
so
you
this
did.
could potentially be, I guess, the economy is booming right now. This could potentially be the best Christmas financially for a lot of businesses ever, since Black Friday was also the best ever. So now is the time to prepare. Mm-hmm. So now is the time to prepare not only for your Christmas sales, but also for Q1 of the next year. So you want to be focusing on what's going on in the new year. What are we going to be doing? What's the plan? What are we planning to make, right? And really focusing on that as well, because right after that is tax season, which is where a lot of people are spending also as well. So, there's a lot that's going to go into these next few months. Now is the time for no sleep. Right? Hashtag no sleep.
Well, I mean, you even are like an example of this. You could have probably, went to Vegas for the next 3 weeks and just kicked it, let your shop.
I would have loved to do that.
But you, like yesterday or 2 days ago, you put out 10 new Christmas listings?
Yeah. I think there's like this weird, belief that if you work from home, if you own your business, that you're somehow lucky, or like you have more time, you're chilling on the beach. It's like this new laptop lifestyle thing everybody has. And it's like, sure, if you want to make, if you're living in Arizona and you only need to make $4,000 a month, I mean, sure, you can probably make that happen. However, I've put myself in a situation where I'm constantly uncomfortable. I live in one of the most expensive cities in the entire country, which is totally fine. My family's here. I have my reasons for doing so. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to working hard, the reason why I feel like I am successful is because I just keep on pushing. I just don't sleep. I don't rest. And granted, that there's balance and stuff, and there's things that kind of get left out, but for the most part, for my business doesn't suffer because of that. So as I said before, if you're trying to really succeed, if you're really trying to have the best year ever, end of year ever, maybe you just have sucked until now, maybe you're frustrated, now is the time to really get your stuff in gear and figure out how to have a successful Christmas, how to have a successful new part of the year that's really going to push you. For all you know, you could start now and decide, I'm going to start pushing now, which then creates a successful beginning of the year, which then pushes you forward and catapults you into a successful rest of your year. So, it's never too late to really start up again, right? So I think, what's funny is my business, I really started my business in like the end of December. 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it was Christmas time.
Yeah.
And that, that's like a really weird time to start a business or to like, start having success or whatever. But it's just, now is not the time, in my opinion, to chill and focus on presents and all that. Get all that stuff done. Get your, gifts and stuff purchased in your spare time, in your, right before bedtime, and focus right now on getting your business up and market it, right? So let's talk about marketing, since we're talking about marketing right now, right? So when it comes to Christmas marketing, I mean, what's your opinion on what is going to work this time around? Since we've now checked out Black Friday and how that's done, we've had a very successful year. In your opinion, you're my marketing guy. What would make a very successful year for these entrepreneurs who maybe own Etsy shops or own hair businesses, own lash businesses, own boutique businesses, have a brick and mortar, a real salon? I mean, what can help these girls?
I think it's a lot of the same. Honestly, it's the marketing and the branding is different than Black Friday. Mm-hmm. Maybe you want to come up with different sales, but what we've learned is that this is not a month you want to neglect. Just because people are shopping for Christmas doesn't mean that they're going to be shopping with you. So you still have to get the message out. You still have to incentivize them to pick you over other people. I mean, we've even learned this. I mean, guys, like we've even picked some of our sales based off of the fact that it is Christmas. This is not just the time to be like, oh, we're going to go into what it is called like hibernate mode and just go hang out. Like, this is still grind time. So yeah, get your flyers, get your message out there, get your funnels, your ads. I mean, it's definitely the time, as you said, to not take the foot off the pedal. Mm-hmm. Everyone is going to try to reset and recharge January 1st. So if you don't want to be average, why would you wait for the day that everybody else that's average is going to be waiting for? One
of the marketing tactics that I really think works in the holidays, and it's actually, I've fallen for it quite a few times. I almost did the other day at Pickup Sticks. It's a Asian food place out here. Is you're already naturally going to, or people and consumers, and you're a consumer, are naturally already going to be spending money on other people, right? So why not give them a gift if they spend money on a gift? For instance, for a brick and mortar, like Pickup Sticks, I went in and they said, listen, if you buy a $25 gift card, right, we're going to give you your meal for free.
Yeah.
And then you'll get another meal later on. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. I could get my gift right now. If you own a salon, right, somebody's coming in for a pedicure, because they always come in for a pedicure. Why don't you get your pedicure for free if you spend $50 on a gift card here in the salon, right? Because the pedicure is only going to cost you so much. If they spend $50, let's say that's 3 pedicures or 2 pedicures, you've now earned double what you're giving away. So these are the types of things that I think naturally people are going to spend. If you're a hair salesperson, maybe you're going to, let's say you're selling hair extensions, right? Maybe you're giving certain pieces for free, or the person is going to be buying something for themselves, right? Well, if you actually buy a bunch of hair for somebody else, with this gift box that it comes in, will actually give you this hair piece for free, or whatever the heck, Same with lashes. I mean, I'm just going over like the typical businesses that I typically work with.
Sure.
This is something that I feel works really well. I mean, I get sold on it, and it's hard to sell me, and I get so pumped whenever I can get a gift card, because to me a gift card is like cash, right? So even if I don't give it away, I can just keep that gift card for later, and I've now spent the money and now gotten a whole bunch of free stuff. Whereas you, as the business who is selling this to me, you've actually earned more money, and I don't even realize it as a consumer, right? So because a gift card, because they have to spend it with you. So that is something that I believe really should be used heavily. I wish I could give gift cards on Etsy, but Etsy sucks that way. If you buy an Etsy gift card, it can go to anybody in Etsy. So it's like there's no point in that. So that's why we focus on the website, right?
Sure.
So, but yeah, that's something that would really work for Christmas marketing. Aside from, I've obviously seen like the 25 days of Christmas. We're even doing something like that.
Yep.
7 days of Christmas, whatever the heck you can give away. I just opened up a Costco email that gave me, they're doing 25 days of Christmas, and today they gave like 10 deals or whatever. So that's really popular. But as far as Christmas, you can be as creative as you want and just throw in a little bit of jingle bells in there and you're good to go. Free gift wrapping.
Right. The overall point is to just don't do nothing. You want to make sure you're in the game, that you're doing something. That this is just not the time to be hanging out.
But it can be as simple as even offering free gift wrapping.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you don't have to break the bank. This doesn't have to be like Black Friday, where it's like, Black Friday is kind of that lead magnet, to bring people in. You, like Erika said, you can lose money on Black Friday, but don't do nothing.
Sure.
So.
Sure. Yeah, but absolutely. When it comes to Christmas and stuff, it's very important to focus on just at least get a flyer or something. And then obviously closing out 2019 strong, right?
Right. Yeah. And this is something I just really wanted to touch on. And I've touched on this a few times. I think I've even done something like this in the varsity course, where we talk about motivation. But it's very important because a lot of people out there, Erika, they think that motivation is something that can just like a switch, it just turns on.
Sure.
But it's not. In fact, the more doubt and the more clutter that gets in your vision, the harder it becomes to be motivated. Motivation is simply looking into the future, liking what you see, and knowing without a shadow of a doubt you can get it. For instance, I always tell people, imagine you're in the room, whatever room you're listening to, or imagine you're in a car listening to this podcast, like wherever you're listening to the podcast at. Now imagine just outside the door, maybe it's in a room, maybe it's outside the car, whatever, there's a big pile of money, right? $10 million, whatever motivates you, whatever excites you. You see it, you know it's there, you know you can get it. All you have to do is open the door and get it, right? I like to tell people, pretend you're in a room, because it makes it a little bit more realistic. Somebody comes and shows you 10 grand, they say the other $10 million is in the other room. What possible reason, what possible excuse, what possible thing do you think that could prevent you from walking over, opening the door, and getting that money? Like a realistic thing, something that real life, right? Chances are nothing, right? Because you know it's there, you like what you see, and you know without a shadow of a doubt you can physically open a door and go get it. And that's what motivation is. So if you're not motivated, chances are you have clutter. So you have to kind of remove the clutter and realize, hey, listen, I gotta pull myself up and I gotta get to work. I gotta go after this thing, because here's the truth. There are hundreds of millionaires created every single day inside of this country. That is actually a stat that frustrates me. It just frustrates me. I think about it all the time. It's like, but it's because people are saying, hey, listen, I'm gonna go after it. You have to know without a shadow of a doubt you can go after it. Every single one of you can. But don't be the person that waits till January 1st. Start now. Get to work now, because the average person, this is why the average person doesn't have success, doesn't make it. It's because the average person is going to wait till January 1st. You want to start right now.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. That's what I was saying before. If you're walking into quarter one with no plan and no idea, you've already lost.
Right.
So you want to be thinking about next year, and really, I don't care if you made $100 this year. I do not care. There is always a chance for a fresh start and to do things right. One of the things you're doing is listening to this podcast, obviously, and like I said, I'm just going to try and pour as much of what I learned too, in this industry, into this podcast as well, to be able to help you and what works for me and what doesn't work for me. And like I said, it can be, whether you're in the beauty industry or whether you're in the Etsy industry or crafting or whatever, this can work for you, because we're talking about basic marketing, basic things that I see people struggle with every day. Especially like I'm on Facebook, and my morning will consist of waking up and I just kind of go through my timeline, I go through my emails, I go through everything. Sure. And I mean, these poor girls in these business groups I'm in and Etsy groups I'm in who are just crying about these small little problems that I wouldn't dare post publicly that I'm struggling with these problems, but I recognize that, these are the types of people that, in my opinion, are going to have a hard time with the bigger problems, right? So, like I said, anything I can do to help you kind of overcome these little problems that you have. I mean, 2 years ago even, and I'm not saying that I'm better than these people. 2 years ago, I remember having my first PayPal case and wanting to cry my eyes out because how could somebody do this to me? I delivered them work and they're still doing this, and and it's just like one of those problems that you really you have to learn how to overcome. Now, it could have completely pushed me out. I could have said, this is crazy risk, I don't want to take this type of risk, right? But I got through it. And the thing is not a lot of people have the support I have. I do have my husband, I do have friends who are also entrepreneurs, and I do have a background of entrepreneurship and just similar type of mindset. I have a lot of mindset training and experience, and so many people don't. And I don't want, because you don't have that type of stuff, I don't want that to be the reason why you close the doors on your business and stop giving up on these things. So like I said, that's really why I created this podcast, was really to just be able to kind of pour into you as my listener and be able to help you kind of through these hurdles, because believe me, the problems are only going to get bigger as you get bigger.
Mo money, mo problems.
Exactly. And so, again, even if your problem this year was that you had no problems, now it's time to go and get yourself some problems. Right. Because that means that you're doing well, right? So, again, write down, I cannot stress this enough, write down, create a journal, open up a Google Doc, something, and record the things that you did well this Black Friday, record the things that did not work this Black Friday, so that way next Black Friday is going to be even better, right? But yeah, aside from that, I did want to talk for a minute, since we are talking about closing out 2019 strong, about goal setting a little bit.
Sure.
And you're really good at this too. So when it comes to like goal setting, it's really important to figure out specifically, right, your goals that you want for the new year as well as Christmas. It's not too late to put out some goals for Christmas. So a good thing to do, me and Jesse, we actually do this every month. On the first or the last day of the month, we will actually sit down and we will talk about some specific things about our business that we want to see. We talk about the previous goals and what we didn't meet, and if we need to push them forward to the next month. Mm-hmm. We talk about financial goals, right? Mm-hmm. This is just to give you an idea of, you're like, I have the notepad. I have no idea what I'm doing though. What kind of like goals should I even have? This will help you as well. So the first thing that we really talk about is a overall mission statement for the month, right? Yes. So when we're talking about the overall mission statement, in your opinion, what do you typically focus on when we're writing this down?
Just kind of a broad goal. I mean, just like a broad goal to focus on. It's not so specific, like make 30 grand for the month. It's more right. So like have a successful month while focusing on my health and not neglecting something.
And that's true too. We always kind of bring in the personal stuff as well, because as much as you want to focus on business, you don't want to not shower for the month because you're too busy right. focusing on the business. There needs to be some type of a balance, or you're just not going to be happy. I can't tell you how many times I have run into this issue because I am so like tunnel vision when it comes to my business. I will put off other things in my life. So, that has also been something that I've had to grow on as well, in my own life as well. So please, absolutely put in personal goals as well with this, right? And I'm talking to the solopreneur. I'm talking about the girls who, you guys are starting websites and trying to sell on those websites and drop shipping, or buying from Alibaba and reselling it on your website, or opening up a brick and mortar and, you got to bring on a few employees, but, you're still running the business by yourself. This is who I'm talking to right now. It's really, because the thing is, it's all on you. It's about your mindset. It's about how strong you are. Your business can only grow with you. So if you are feeling limited, if you are feeling frustrated, if you are not, if you're at a point where you're not doing these things, unfortunately, your business is just going to stop right there. And I've seen this. I mean, you can even watch shows like The Prophet. Right. And everything starts with the CEO. He'll yell at the CEO. He'll, try and fire or buy out the CEO if it's not a good CEO. So it all starts with you. So, yes, the mission statement is the overall goal. Then we talk about business initiatives, right? So we focus on business initiatives aside from the personal goals.
Right. So like the personal goals, I like to basically look at it like this. You write down personal goals,
Like health
right?
and...
But then you have to have things that are going to help you achieve that.
Right.
And that's where the business goals come in. So for instance, let's say we wanted to make for finances, like a finance section, we say we want to make 20 grand, or we want to make 50 grand, or we want to make 40 grand. Okay, cool. Well, there has to be things within your business that you need to accomplish
Right.
in order to do that.
Exactly.
Eric and I have I don't even know, we're like 10 years ahead in the future. We're already thinking like six projects down the road, what needs to be done little by little. And so every month, instead of saying everything needs to be complete, we'd rather say, okay, here are the things that absolutely have to get done this month.
Yep.
And that will help us achieve the
And
personal goals.
that's really what creates the action, okay? The goal, you don't just go into your business and get up and say, I'm going to read a book and that's how, I'm going to help my business today. No, you have to start with the goal, and then you create the action plan underneath the goal that is going to help you achieve that goal, right? So now I know if I told myself I have to put out 500 listings this month, I know if I have to get up at 5 a.m. to start to be able to achieve that goal. Also, too, I do believe in creating bigger numbers than what you think you can achieve. This is a very Grant Cardone 10x kind of a thing. But I believe that will actually push you further.
Sure, that's true.
And make you work harder. So even if you don't hit those goals, because the goal isn't always necessarily to hit that goal, it's just to get you to push you farther. So that's why I've really increased my numbers, and I really take that mindset. Just a little plug on him. I actually listen to Grant Cardone. I try to every morning. Just depends if I'm walking my dogs and stuff or not with my husband, but he just really pumps me up, and his whole mindset, and he's a very similar mindset towards me, or when it comes to me versus him. He is a hard worker, so he'll outwork anybody. He just believes that work ethic is the number one thing. 10x your life, 10x everything. And he believes in reinvesting your business, putting your money into your business. He's amazing. So definitely check him out as well. But yeah, so when it comes to your goals and stuff, shoot for bigger than what you're expecting. Don't get upset when you don't hit it, but actually feel good that if you just missed it, that you actually would have pushed yourself further than if you would have told yourself, let's say you told yourself, I'm gonna shoot for 5 sales and for Christmas. Screw that. Shoot for 20 sales. And even though that's wow, how would I even do that? What if you, because of that, you actually push yourself harder by staying up later, by waking up earlier, by answering people in a certain way? This will even change the way that you're dealing with customers,
you hit
right?
12 sales or
and you hit 12 or 15 sales when your original goal was so much less, right? Because 5 was something that you knew you would hit. That's what I'm talking about. This is the kind of mindset that you need to really focus on. This is the type of mindset that drives me, as well as competition. I love competition. It's something I just feed off of. But I've always been competitive. I've ever since I was a little kid. But and that too. If you're competitive, find somebody that is either neck and neck with you or doing better than you or something, and just check them out. And if they're doing better than you, want to make you push harder in your business, right? So there's so many things that can help you with that driving force. But overall, going back to our goal setting, right, and our action plan, you can set the goal, but you have to set up an action plan. You have to set up specific smaller goals that you have to hit, and then you schedule those smaller goals and those smaller action steps into your schedule, right? So like I said, for instance, for me, if my goal is 500 listings, I now divide 500 by 30 or 31, and I have to do that many listings a day. And if I miss, maybe that means I don't have a weekend this weekend, so that I can focus on listings, right? So that is what I'm talking about. And even if I miss, I can't tell you how many times I have missed my goals, but it was whoa, look what I accomplished because I set a higher goal, right? Yep. So that's just an example for you to help you in really setting up, some goals. So really quickly to close this out, I just wanted to, because I know so many people are well, I have no idea even what kind of goals to set. And I really want this to be kind of generic for any type of business, not just Etsy, not just, brick and mortar or salon or beauty. What are some goals that in your opinion are good for them to set closing out this new year?
Well, I mean, if you're new, obviously having your first couple of sales, if you are thinking, hey, listen, my business isn't even going to be ready. Obviously, having some of the marketing done.
Yeah.
For myself,
Well, okay, so that's a good point. What if you don't, yeah, if you're broke,
right,
and you don't have the money, maybe the first step is getting the money, having a plan to get the money, maybe getting a second job.
Exactly. Oh gosh. We live in such a wear your hoodie and your flip flop society. Everyone's a business owner, and oh goodness, can't have a job, have to sleep on a friend's couch to avoid having to get a job. It's like no. You absolutely should recognize where you're at. If you were too, I mean, we have so many people that hit us up, especially your Etsy store that are just like, it's almost like, what are you even doing? They're like skipping their meals so they can get like a flyer made. It's like, no. Like, you're going to have to work hard. You probably are going to have a job and work a business on the side. I mean, we didn't just spring up overnight, with all this.
Yeah.
So,
if it means, if you want to have a successful New Year and it means you're eating, I can't even say McDonald's anymore because they're so expensive. Ramen. You're eating ramen for the rest of the month so that you can afford to get a new branding package because you recognize that your website is absolute trash and your entire business is on your website. That is something that's a great goal for the new year. Maybe you don't even have financial goals because you don't even have the activity on your website, right? This is what I'm talking about, where you need to figure out where you're at. You need to create an action plan. You create an overall goal and then the steps to really fix that, right? And maybe you don't even know what your problems are. Maybe the next step is even to get a brand consultation, right?
Right.
Or some type of business consultation, which plug I do offer. But yes, maybe you don't even know where you're at. So now the next step is I need to save up for a consultation to find out what's really going on with my business. Maybe everything is just trash. Because what I found, especially doing what I'm doing, because I do a lot of consulting, I do a lot of business branding, and I give a lot of advice, is a lot of people, it's funny, girls will say, oh well, I want a new logo, that's why I'm not getting sales. And it's like, it has nothing to do with your logo, by the way. Your logo could be just a text-based logo that you make on Canva really quick, and you could still get tons of sales. These drop shipping guys do it all the time, all day, every day. So it's not about the logo. This is about your work ethic and your overall mindset and your marketing plan. Okay, that is what's going to make you really win. I can't tell you my logo that I created when I first started this stuff was, I took maybe 5 minutes to make it because I just wanted to get up and get running. Okay, and I still use that logo. So again, you want to have the right mindset. Maybe the goal is, I don't even have the right mindset right now. I need to go pick up some books. I need to go listen to some more podcasts. I need to really figure out, to change my mindset, because I know that I kind of still have that employee mindset, right? So, again, I'm just throwing out ideas to really help you, and maybe one of these things will really create a light bulb for you, and you really connect with it and decide, gosh, that's what I need to do to really have a successful new year. But yeah, again, like I said, I just wanted to close out with that really quick to kind of give you guys some ideas with what could need, what your business could need in the end of the new year. So yeah, just to close this out, again, just a quick plug, I do offer Junior Varsity, which is a program. It's a membership, an ongoing membership for only $20 a month. It's paid via PayPal, and I actually teach you, if you don't even have a business and you're just like, gosh, I don't even know what to do, maybe it needs to be graphic design, and Junior Varsity is a great way to start. It actually teaches you the basics of graphic design. It teaches you how to make flyers, how to make marketing stuff for clients, for yourself. Maybe you don't have the money for graphic designers, and that's just kind of where you're at right now, and you don't want, these DIY flyers. Maybe you just want to make your own stuff, and you want it to be done professionally. Well, this is the perfect membership for you then. You actually learn how to do all this stuff in Photoshop, which is what graphic designers use. They don't use Canva. If they do, they are not real graphic designers. And then Varsity. Varsity is our membership. I'm sorry, not really a membership, but it's actually, yes, it's a pre-launch right now. And it is our basically our course that teaches graphic designers how to make what I make. So, over 6 figures a year. And again, this is my second year in business. So, it's been a crazy couple of years, and I'm really excited for next year and to see where we're at in next year. But definitely, if that's something that you need to focus on, maybe that's something that is going to be towards your goals, right? For something like varsity. But yeah, basically, I'm just going to go ahead and close this out. Definitely, I really hope that you do have a successful end of the year and Christmas, and do not forget to eat your Christmas cookies and your eggnog, and spend a lot of time with your family. That is so important. Family is number one, right? Because nobody wants to be the guy that is, Miss Scrooge McDuck, who has the whole room of dollar bills but no family to share it with. So,
Sure.
But yeah, aside from that, is there anything that you wanted to mention?
No, just remember to hit the subscribe button for iTunes, and that's about it.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna go ahead and close this out, and I will talk to you guys on the next podcast.